I'm Holly Constant.
And I'm Maddie Hockaday. We really love Parks and Rec, and we really love behind-the-scenes details.
So we're researching everything from DVD extras like deleted scenes and commentaries,
plus interviewing cast and crew who actually worked on the show.
We also bring on guests and friends to geek out about everything parks.
So join us, you tropical fish.
This is literally the best Parks and Rec rewatch podcast.
We're your park pals.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're on Bowling for Votes.
Bowling for Votes.
But I have a campaign ad recap. So that was the last episode that we did. And it's not really a recap because I don't really know if it's true or not. But we asked that last episode was with Andy hanging his golden record.
Yeah, I watched both of those right before this. I kind of recapped both because I haven't watched it in a sec. So I recapped.
Yeah, and he hit his head, and I was like, "Is that real or not? Or like, did he?" Because it didn't look like a stunt person or anything like that. So I was
it
like,
looked like
what?
him, yeah.
Yeah, so I asked Shauna, our favorite camera operator, and she said that she couldn't like really recall, but he hasn't, but he like does his own stunts all the time apparently, and so I really think it's him. So I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, I wonder how hard he hit it, or if he could do it like a prop or like a fake.
Or if they added in a sound, because it looked so
It did
intense.
look pretty hard. Yeah, it looked like really hard.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, anyhow, okay. Well,
That's a good.
I guess...
Is that the first episode Paul Rudd's in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I know, and that was like a whole trivia situation where it's like now we have two Marvel action heroes in Parks and Rec, and the whole Sureverse and Megaverse is just colliding.
Who would have thought that Chris Pratt would be Guardians?
Who would have thought? We also talked about. Have you watched Ant-Man?
No. Is it good?
I haven't either. I haven't watched it.
I just remember the whole concept being like, I don't know.
I know. I want to
Ant-Man.
watch it really bad. And I will. I will eventually. Like, I will. But I have been kind of taking votes of like who has seen it and who hasn't. I think Maddie saw it at some point. Or maybe she didn't. I can't remember what she said. But the second movie, like the second trailer, just looked like, do we need this?
Yeah. How many are there?
I think there's only 2.
Okay.
There might
I
be
just
3.
can't keep up with Marvel anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like too much.
Anyhow, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't really introduce you, but everybody knows you from Strike Pod, from the intro. But thank you, Sean, for being on. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Okay, Bowling for Votes, Season 4, Episode 13. This was written by Katie Dippold, who has written 900,000 episodes, including Beauty Pageant, was also a producer on the show. Amazing. Also directed by Mike Trim, who we had an interview for, a full interview back in the day, so go check that out. He was also the cinematographer of Parks, which was really great. It was a weird interview. I'm not going to lie to you. It was one of the weirder ones because I feel like he is definitely more like artistic and thinks about like the colors of the shots and the angles of the shots, and this was very... You're just throwing your camera up and it's a mockumentary kind of thing, and I don't know that he was like really as...
passionate or like
passionate about that vibe. I mean, he did a great job, obviously, but like when he was saying all those things, it was almost like I don't really know how to deal with this. And I was like, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But still, it was a good interview, I think. So
yeah,
directed by him. And then I will play the summary. Maddie's not here. I'll play the summary, but you guys kind of know what it's about. But yeah, I'll play that in a moment.
Hi, Holly and Sean. I'm sorry that I'm not there this morning, and I appreciate you being understanding. But I put together a summary for Bowling for Votes. So here it is. After getting upset by some feedback in a focus group, Leslie convinces Ben that holding a bowling party for her campaign would be a great way to interact with the public. Leslie focuses too much of her time on one citizen, which leads to some tumultuous events. Meanwhile, Donna, Jerry, Chris, April, and Andy congregate to raise money for Leslie's campaign, and Ron is very embarrassed by Tom's bowling technique. I also wanted to share my favorite line in this episode, and because it's kind of like we see so much change with April because she like wants Chris to be miserable and his happiness to die, and then she also really wants to make him feel better later. So kind of all around that, my favorite is when Donna tells Chris to take his jacket because he says that Millicent's love will keep him warm.
Okay, great. All right, this one has so many guest stars. Dude, the intro took me like 30 minutes to research all these people. I like just that intro cold open thing. I was like, there's so many people in here.
Oh, all the it's the focus group.
Yeah, the focus
Yeah.
group people. There were extras in the show as well. So like the people that didn't talk were just extras that were booked off like central casting, which is kind of amazing. Like, can you imagine how awesome that would have been to just
A
be
very
sitting
small extra, like it's not like you're in a group of 30 people here. It's like
there? Right.
two.
Right, exactly. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Crazy. But yeah, we're starting with the focus group to see what people like / don't like / thoughts and comments on Leslie's speech. Basically her whole persona. She definitely has that like announcer politician cadence too. I'd never really heard her say that, or like speak like that. The better business development.
Yeah.
Like where she has like a news reporter situation almost.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Why is she in there also?
I know. I was thinking like I loved how they did the focus group thing because it's the best like over exaggeration of like those situations. It's like it's like if you had an Instagram comment section in real life. Like it's like the worst people saying like the worst thing. I mean, it's not like terrible, but it's like stuff you really probably wouldn't say. I don't know. I just thought they did a great job, like just like making that like expanding that to be like
that's
too
true.
much,
Like if you go on an Instagram live or a TikTok live or something, people do comment really awful things.
I know. It's like yeah, it's crazy.
Like, why do you have so much time to do that? But that's a whole other thing. This is like life or death for her because it's like
I know
the dream job or not.
Yeah,
Whereas,
and why
like, I can
she's
just delete my
there? Yeah,
TikTok.
I mean she's there. Well, because it's a TV show and it makes it funnier. But
but
yeah,
no,
it's
in
like
real
what
life,
a terrible
this is what
experience.
I always think. Sorry, go ahead.
What a terrible experience to like stand behind a glass wall that they don't know you're there and have people like just talk about it. I mean,
I know. I'm thinking that she fought to be there because I feel like Ben could 100% have just like, put this information in a binder and given it to her at some point. But
and that's
like,
healthier too.
oh my god, so much healthier.
Yeah.
I don't think she should be in there. With
Yeah.
the way that she says all the things make me feel a lot of feelings about myself. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I don't know if I would survive. That would be.
I'm also like intrigued by the two-way glass thing, and I'm like, how many times in our life have we been in a situation where there's been two-way glass and we haven't known?
Probably less than we think.
No, I don't know. How would
Been
you
in
ever
jail?
know?
Where do you think?
I don't. Yeah, jail. How do you also like get to be in those focus groups? I would love to be in one of those.
I know. Well, there's a couple different things you can sign up for. There's like, I used to do this in LA where there's like websites that you can just put your name down for, and then you get sent emails of like,
Oh, yeah.
are you free this day between the hours of this and this? They do that in LA a lot for like movies as well, like focus groups for movies and like, when it hasn't been fully released yet and you have to sign something.
I would love to do that.
But
we should figure out how
I
to do
know.
that here.
And a lot of times you get paid. So
Yeah.
I would like
Yeah.
to do it too.
I wonder
And
how much
nowadays-
they got
well-
paid in Pawnee to do this.
I know.
To a local.
I
20
know.
bucks.
That would intriguing.
Yeah.
But I wonder now because I feel like I've seen it when I first moved here. I feel like I saw a lot of things that were also online now, where you can like submit your answers online and not have to
Gotcha.
go into whatever
Yeah.
this is. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we
Yeah.
should look that up.
Intriguing.
We'll also hear from a guest star who was in the show that like runs focus groups. So I'll have to ask her if she has any that are in the Southeast.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Anyhow, the first lady says that she is aggressively short, and I did see that Leslie is actually 5'2". So that's short. That is short. Not aggressively short, but it is short.
She's aggressively short.
Oh my god.
I've never-
Such great writing.
Yeah. That's amazing.
This actor's name is Heather Horton, and she has been in Superstore, a show called Pivoting. She has a commercial running right now for Ross, which is exciting. Good for her. And she also has produced and co-produced a bunch of shorts. And also, Heather, your headshots look great on IMDb.
Nice.
So just want to let you know that. But Heather was really sweet, as were a lot of people, and they sent in voice memos.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So let me go ahead. Now we're on Zoom, so let me figure out how to freaking do this again.
How to get the job on Parks? Through my agent. So I got an audition, and at the time, I had this kind of kooky character on for my stand up, just real weird, and I was just kind of leaning into it a little bit more, and I got called in. I'm like, oh my God, this is kind of like who I am on stage. So I'm like, I'm just going to go and do that. I'm just going to say the lines that way. And so I did. And the casting director turned away and she pursed her lips together and kind of laughed. And I was like, oh, I think that was good. And I asked her, like, do you want to do it a different way? And she's like, nope, that was good. And I walked out to my car and I thought, I think I just booked that job. And it was actually my very first, what I would call like professional gig. I had worked and been paid before, but this was like, kind of like the most professional thing as far as like TV and film and commercial and that kind of thing. So I was pretty stoked about it. And then when I got it, um, the day was fantastic because Amy Poehler, I adore her, I look up to her, and and I actually watched the show, which was I there were other people, um, other actors that I met that day that had never seen an episode of the show, and I love the show. So that was like the coolest thing, and we were at CBS Radford, and they were running late because they were on location somewhere else. So I got to hang out in the dressing room, and the wardrobe people were super nice. And I hung out and I just did some reading. And when they finally called me in, I sat next to Amy Poehler's hair. Her hair was being done next to me on the counter, which was very cool. Her extensions, which is neat. So if you didn't know, she has help with things, and that was very cool. And then on the day, or actually when we were shooting, Aziz was sick that day, so I was sitting in front of him, and I say the line. He and I had the exchange, and he was sick, and he was kind of, you know, staying back, and they were bringing him what I thought was like tea and just some hot drinks and that kind of thing. So he was powering through it, and but he was cool, and then everybody was pretty cool. Actually, I had a great time. It was the neatest thing for my very first job. I thought that was so lucky. And then Amy Poehler, of course, it was the cold open, so she was on the other side of the of the window. And at some point, she walked through and told us that we were all doing a very nice job. And I was like, oh my God, that was a blubbering mess. But um, I realized, man, she's really short. Also, she's very short. Oh, I don't know. What else? Please connect with me on Instagram. I have a lot of fun there. I do silly stuff. It's Heather Horton is my handle. And yeah, come on, find me there and drop a message in the in my DMs and we'll talk.
Yay! Okay. That
That's
was so funny
awesome.
when she talked about her hair. I was like, what is she talking about? Is there a wig? Like,
I
what?
know. Yeah. I mean, I guess her hair is like kind of plumped in.
Well, I knew
in.
that, like, Amy has her hair dyed. I knew that. But I was like, I knew it wasn't all, like, technically, quote, real or whatever. But that was really interesting to hear that she has extensions and that it was, like, being done right next to her.
Yeah.
Like, without Amy Poehler actually
Not
sitting
on
there.
her head. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know they
Yeah.
did that. That's awesome.
And it
She had
is
a good
interesting to
experience
see
then.
how many people watch the show and don't watch the show before they get on there.
Yeah, that's crazy. How cool to like the show and then go on.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, thank you, Heather, for sending those. That was awesome. I love hearing it. I will tag you in all the things. And yeah, also I should ask her for her stand-up if she has any like videos or anything. I'm sure she has it on her Instagram. But thanks for sending in those.
It's crazy that Aziz was sick too. Like it's
Yeah.
funny. It's one of Sierra's like favorite thing to like watch a show and be like, that person is sick. Just like sometimes you can hear it how they talk. I'll have to like go back and see if you can like hear if he's like a little like sometimes just the voice is a little like
Yeah, it sounds like compressed or like
Yeah.
nasally or something.
Yeah.
I felt like Adam Scott, and I said this to Heather, I thought that Adam Scott sounded sick in the last episode and in this one.
Oh really?
So I was like very intrigued by that because I couldn't tell with Aziz. Maybe it's because Aziz already has kind of like a high pitched ish kind of
Yeah.
voice. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe
Huh.
they all got sick that week on set.
Power through it.
Power through.
Yep.
Okay, so the next guy, the guy that will follow for literally the entire episode, says that Leslie seems uptight and not someone that you could go bowling with. Side note, what a random and specific thing to think about in a focus group.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Unless he's a
Like,
big
that's not a
bowler.
first thing I think about when I think about how chill you are.
Yeah, if I can go bowling with you. Because sometimes even like, I don't know, I don't necessarily like love bowling for some reason. So when I'm at bowling, I'm always a little uptight because well, it depends on who I'm with. If I'm there, sometimes I'm there with people who are like take it way too seriously and are very competitive. And me, like if I go bowling or golfing or top golf, it is a hang. It is like I don't even care what the score is. So
Yeah,
but
that's what makes it fun.
make it fun. But yeah. What a specific thing. I mean, obviously he bowls a lot, so
Yeah. Well, not
not
enough.
that well, not as well as Leslie.
Yeah.
I love how.
This guy's name is. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I don't know.
Okay. This guy's name is Kevin Dorff, and he is one of those actors that's in everything.
Yeah,
You've
you
probably
see his
seen him.
face, like, but you're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, he's a huge improviser with Second City, and I think UCB too. I think he did a couple things with them. He was in Moxie, which is Amy Poehler's movie. I think it's on Netflix. He was on Bombshell, the movie, Arrested Development, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was in The Office as well. Can you guess which one he was? Maddie and I like to play this game, and Maddie usually always gets it. It's so weird. And by weird, I mean great, because I don't know.
Well, I know this is wrong, but I was thinking of the Utica, the one salesman when Jim and Dwight like go on. But that's not him. It kind of looks like.
I feel like
Can
it
you
might.
give me a
You mean like where they're
season?
sitting on the bench and they're getting coffee or whatever?
Yeah,
I feel like I thought that's what I thought at first.
but it's not him. No.
But like, who is that guy then? I should have looked that. Or is it both? Is he in both? And IMDb didn't list it. I don't
feel
know.
like they look
Basically,
similar.
he's the one with the turtles. He ate the turtles.
Oh shoot! Yeah, he is the turtle guy. He's the guy that owns that company. Oh yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
Those
Yeah,
guys look
so for
very
those of you-
similar.
you said what?
Those guys do look very similar.
But who is that other guy? I need to look him up because
Yeah.
I feel like I thought I had the same exact thought. That's actually really funny that you thought the same thing. I was like, oh, it's the same dude. But no, for those of you who need to be reminded of The Office, what even is that episode? I don't know what they're doing, but
That's the gift basket when he drives his thing into the lake.
yeah,
his
his
car
car
into
into
the
the
lake.
lake. I think it's because I think it's like Dunder Mifflinity or
Yeah.
Infinity or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like they're basically trying to say that they can create these relationships
Yeah.
from the ground up kind of thing instead of like with technology
Yeah.
and this like weird new launch, and so they give everybody gift baskets to try to win these people back, and
Yeah.
there's turtles in it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Where
going
are the
against
turtles?
Ryan. Yeah. Yeah. Where are the turtles?
I hate them.
So good.
But also he was a huge writer for Conan, which I didn't really realize. He has done a ton of Conan sketches, and like been in them as well as written them. And he was on the crew that was nominated and won some Emmys for Conan as well, which is really cool. Also,
Wow.
if you watch 30 Rock, he was the guy who cuts in line for hot dogs, and Liz Lemon decides to buy the entire hot dog cart so that he can't get the hot dog.
He
Did you
always
watch 30
plays
Rock?
well, in all three of those, he's like in a little shithead in the episode.
Yeah, he kind of has
Like,
that typecast, doesn't he?
Yeah.
This one's the worst one.
Yeah, this one's pretty bad. He's such an asshole in this one.
Oh my god.
Man.
Do you watch 30 Rock? I can't remember.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. That's one of those shows that like I've started it a bunch of times and I've always liked it, but I've never
Mhm.
finished it. I
Watched
just
all the way
like
through.
that I need to. That's one I need to just watch.
It's really good. But anyhow, he's really wonderful in the show. So Kevin, thank you for your service and in the office. But anyways, Leslie is like, I'm excellent at bowling. Ask Ron. And Ben's like, don't get obsessed over one thing. Again, why is she in there? Because Ben, she's going to get obsessed over literally everything. What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Woof.
Well, I wonder how many times or how often Leslie goes bowling with Ron.
Oh, good
Or is-
question.
Or is it just that like she beat him once and like she holds that over? Because I can't really imagine Ron just being like, "Yes, Leslie is a good bowler," but like something
Right.
must have happened, like to be
Mhm.
like, "Oh, like she's a good." Or maybe they bowl every Friday. I don't know. She obviously
Yeah,
bowls
that's
a lot,
true.
and so does he. So
Yeah.
yeah.
His favorite restaurant is in that bowling alley.
Oh my
So
gosh. $1 or whatever.
Great question. I know. Oh my god, I looked at those
It's like
prices. And I was
Costco
like, that's not real.
prices. Or like, the Costco like hot dog prices. Where
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
like,
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I thought more so about like the 1940s or something.
Yeah. Did you see also at the bottom it said like no bill over $10 will be accepted?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
see that. That's funny.
Yeah. Like, how funny.
You must have exact change.
Yeah. No 20s.
Oh my god. Okay, one guy says that he liked her, but he hates all Leslies, so would she consider changing her name?
Like, that's an example of like a great like exaggeration of one of those situations. Like, that's the perfect writing. Like,
Yes.
like who would
It's so
ever
good because you think it's going to be good. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
we had this negative shit. Now we have this one guy who actually kind of likes her.
Yeah, and then says
But
this
not enough.
insane statement. Like, it's so good.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. This actor's name is Brad Slaight, and he's also a stand-up comedian and a playwright/writer in addition to being an actor. He was in The Young and the Restless, the soap opera for 20 episodes back in the 90s that my mom still watches,
Nice.
and a bunch of other things that I wasn't as familiar with, but still a bunch of things. And he was very sweet and sent in voice memos too.
Oh,
I
nice.
was so excited. A lot of people messaged back, and I'm really excited about that. So
Would you hit him up on Instagram or
I messaged their agents.
are there agents?
Sometimes I do get them on Instagram though too. I think Heather actually, I might have done that.
Nice.
I messaged her agents and I messaged her Instagram because I'm thorough.
Nice.
Okay, first one for Brad.
Hi there, this is Brad Slaight. I played Horace in the Bowling for Votes episode. My agent, the Jan Luker Agency, had submitted me for the part, and the casting director, Dorian Frankel, called me in. I remember reading for several smaller parts for the episode, and Dorian gave me some really good direction and seemed to kind of like the adjustments that I made, so I thought it went well, but you never know. When my agent called to say I booked it, I think I was more pleased than usual because I really loved the show. I thought it would be great to be a part of it, even a small part.
I think that's great. Also,
But-
can't you totally tell his voice is like totally just so him?
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I couldn't picture him, and then when he started talking, I was like, "Oh, yeah, guys, I know. I can see his face now."
Yeah,
That's
totally.
funny.
I told him that too.
But was he ever in any? Because Horace sounds familiar. Like, did his character ever continue in the show? Like, have other little cameos or?
I don't think so.
No?
Not
Okay.
continue, or not at least I think on IMDb.
Okay, yeah. Who's
Unless
the
maybe he
character
was-
that Andy always has a problem with?
You mean Kyle?
No. The guy. It's like early Parks and Rec. Like the guy. He's like a. Remember, he's like chasing him down the street when he's naked in the crutches.
Oh yeah.
Because he's in like a few episodes.
Yes. No,
it's like
I
a
forgot
similar
what that.
name. Like it's not.
Yeah, I
Horace.
know who you're talking about. Oh shit, that's a really good trivia moment. I try to reach that guy is like super famous now. And
Yeah,
by famous, I mean like really working a lot.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
I can't remember what his name is. I'll have to look that up for the recap. Dang. Okay.
But that's
good
cool
memory.
that he liked. That's cool that he was a fan of the show too.
Yeah, I know. I think we're in the season where a lot of people are actually watching it because it's been on the air for a little bit now, and people are starting to understand. And like season 4, I mean, is like peak Parks. I feel.
Yeah. The
where
whole
people are
campaign
really into it.
thing like is so good.
Yeah.
Jan comes in, or not Jan? Yeah,
Jan from The Office.
no. Who's the campaign manager?
Oh, what's her name? Barkley. Jennifer Barkley.
Jim Barkley. Yeah, Jen. Yeah. Yeah, it's like just a great like so
Yeah.
many classic episodes in 4. You know.
Yeah, and we're finally getting to see like Leslie be like who she is and who this arc has been building to, which is
Yeah.
so lovely.
And and in this episode, there's a lot of like. Is this one of the first episodes where April and Chris kind of have one of their first moments?
yeah,
Like that's kind of the first time. I don't know. You start
it's
like
a huge
seeing.
moment for April.
Yeah, I know that's jumping ahead, but yeah,
No, yeah, it's a lot of like they talk about this too in The Office too, where they're like trying to figure out who hasn't really had interactions before, kind of thing. But also not only that, I feel like it's just a big storyline for April herself. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
it's like the start
growth.
of her whole thing changing and going off and becoming this like you fall
like nicer.
yeah nicer and like or she just like comes into herself and like I don't
Yeah.
know. But her thing with like it's like I don't know, Pam and Michael. I mean, that one's established earlier, but it's just like, I don't know, one of those small little things that, is so crucial
that keeps
to the
coming
show.
back, kind of.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, he sent 2 more, so let's hear what
nice.
else he has to say.
The particular episode had a lot of actors and extras in it, especially my segment because it was a focus group. But they didn't rush the scene at all. We did a number of takes on it. I remember at the very end, as we were leaving, Amy Poehler made a point of coming out and personally thanking all of us. I mean, she really is a class act. Everyone was incredibly nice, professional, including the director of the episode, Michael Trim, who gave me a really nice compliment afterwards. Even the staff was cool. I remember they went out of their way. They said, "Hey, what do you want for lunch? Anything you want, we'll order it." Now, that sounds like a small thing, but that rarely happens.
That is so not a small thing.
No, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
That is
Whatever
wild.
you want, we'll order it.
Especially if you're like in under 5, like you don't have a lot of lines, like you have 1 or 2 lines. Like, what?
Yeah.
That is wild.
Cool.
And also, we always love to hear every single person says nothing but wonderful things about Amy Poehler. I don't know how she does it, who she's paying.
I know.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
just
she's
kidding.
probably just
She's just
generally a great
amazing.
person.
You said
It's
what?
like she's just probably genuinely a good person. I mean,
I know,
or
she
it's
is.
like when you hear people talk about Steve Carell, it's like they almost go out of their way to be like, oh, like they were really nice. Like, you know, it's just, that's cool to hear. And it's cool when you're a fan, because I don't know, you sometimes hear about people where you maybe, I don't know, wouldn't assume that they would be an asshole. And then, oh, they were an asshole when this person met them. I don't know. That always is kind of like,
Yeah, like they don't live up to
I mean,
their
everybody has like
expectations.
good and bad days, but like, I don't know, especially 2 people saying that she came out and thanked them. Like, that's cool.
That is
Obviously,
so
that's a
nice. And
core
such an
memory.
inspiration. Like, it
Yeah.
just makes you want to not only do well and be professional, but also like pass that on.
Yeah, it's such a small thing in her day that made such a big impact, probably on their. You know, I mean, she probably does that 20 times a day. Or
That's
whatever.
true.
And it's probably such a small thing to her now, but like, that's so cool.
Her and Dolly Parton.
Her and Dolly Parton.
Okay, last one.
Regarding my part of Horace, my original line had a tag that didn't make it to the final episode. After I said, "Now I hate all Leslies. Would she consider changing her name?" The line continued, "How about Susan? I know a lot of great Susans." Maybe they didn't like someone named Susan, so they just cut it. Of course, I'm kidding. It was a small part, but one of the better experiences that I've had as an actor. While on the set, the show had a real family and friends feel to it, which I think is the reason the show is such a success. If anybody wants to know about me, I have a website, bradslaight.com, and a YouTube channel, so you can check me out.
Yay! Yes, I will
Aw,
make sure to tag
That's
and
awesome.
list everything in our show notes and all that good stuff. But yes, thank you, Brad, so much for sending those in. That was so fun to hear, and I just can't even get over it. I should have asked if you remember what he ordered. I'll ask him.
Is he a musician? I was looking
Uh,
up Brad Slaight, and that's what comes up. But
Let's see.
kind of looks like him.
BradSlaight.com?
I was looking him up on YouTube.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. Could be. It doesn't say that he is, or he didn't talk about it, but he could be.
Maybe it's a different Brad Slaight. The Gopherhood Brothers is the name of the band or the album.
He doesn't have anything of that on his website, so it might be.
Okay, different Brad Slaight. Well, shout out to the other Brad Slaight.
He can correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh,
when
Slaight,
this comes out.
Slaight. Okay, I was doing it like Slate. Okay, well,
Okay.
other Brad Slaight. Hope you're doing well.
And correct, Brad Slaight. Thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you so much.
Okay, there was another guy in a deleted scene who said, I don't see her as a city councilor. Like, she's a little too, I don't know, she's a woman. And I don't go for that. Oh, my God. And I thought that was, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they just had to cut it for time. But I feel like that would be that's such a good one, too.
Yeah, I love
She's
it.
a little too
I don't know.
woman.
I don't go for that.
I don't really go for that. Can she change her gender? Oh, it's so awful and sad. But
It's
this guy's
such a
name, I
s-
think, is James Albert, but he doesn't have any information on there. So I would have reached out to you, sir, but I couldn't find anything. So hopefully that's you. And
Okay.
well done.
Well done.
Anyhow. Ben is sitting down with Leslie now, telling her the stats, and all that Leslie can think about is this guy who said he wouldn't go bowling with her. I love that little line / talking head of the tug of war with dogs, how she can't let things go.
Yeah,
One of
but
us always ends up mad.
Yeah,
It's so good.
that's a
It's
good
so
line.
Leslie, too, because so many people are like, okay, you're the dog, you can win. And Leslie's
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah,
we're in this competition.
so funny.
But Ben is saying that people think that she's an elitist or an intellectual, which sucks that it's bad to be intellectual. But I get what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she's not chill, which, yeah, I can relate to. Anyhow, now we're doing a phone bank with all the Parks people, and Chris and Andy have this weird laughing moment when Jerry is like, you're probably thinking, how could this possibly be fun? I wasn't thinking that. I was not. What? Like,
I love especially Chris or Andy's relationship to Jerry, because like Andy is like such an idiot, and like Jerry is all like, it's funny that like it's like Kevin being mean to Toby. Like,
yeah.
it's like you have no reason to talk, sir. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, I love that.
I know, I do too. It's also interesting because I feel like when during the ice skating rink one where she gives her speech and it's awful, the get on your feet episode, and
That's
Jerry
like
like
top
ends up
10 moments. Hold on.
it's so good. I always equate that episode to dinner party. Like,
Yeah.
you know how some people need to like get their feet wet with a
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jerry gets like 100 people, and he actually does his job right, and they're all mad at him. I think the problem isn't that he's bad at his job or stupid. He just is never on the same page as the other people.
Yeah. No.
And I thought, and I know that sounds like really like, I don't know, maybe elementary, but to me, I was like, oh, I get it now. He's just never
yeah.
like having the same ideas as everyone else. Like,
Yeah.
he's not stupid. I thought that people hated him because he was dumb, but it's really not that.
No,
It's just that
yeah.
he doesn't get what they're thinking, and they don't get what he's thinking.
Yeah. Poor little
Which I think
Jerry.
is really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jerry says that there is a competition, and Jerry says that whoever raises the most money will win 2 free movie passes to the Pawnee Monoplex.
That made me think of Phantom of the Megaplex.
I know, me too. Phantom of the Megaplex forever.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. I love that movie.
We recently watched it, not this year, but last year. We showed Jesse's kids that
Mhm.
movie, and they legit were like, "What is
Trash.
this?" They were like, "This is terrible." Like,
No, it's not.
I know, but like us watching it nostalgically, we're like, "This is such a good movie." But if you kind of look at it from like,
Yeah.
it's like they made it for like $25. It's like so bad, and the fact that they got Mickey Rourke to be
I
in that
know.
movie.
He's so famous.
And he's really good in that movie, but like the rest of it, it's such a funny movie. Yeah, but it's just so
I
funny.
love the
like,
main guy in that.
yeah,
He was such a 90s hottie to
yeah,
me.
he was that hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And he was also in the OC and a couple like Lifetime movies, and I just remember being like, oh my God.
yeah. Well, 2
Great
free
film.
tickets to the Pawnee Monoplex.
I know. I don't know that I have, like, our movie theaters were never called that. Monoplex, Megaplex. Maybe they were, but I just
Yeah.
don't know.
No, they were just like, well, we just always called them like Regal.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you're going to Regal.
I don't know. But that's an exciting moment for them, I guess, because Chris gets all excited because he could use that for a romantic night with Millicent Gergich, but we'll later learn that he can't.
Yeah, poor Chris.
And, okay, I am jumping ahead a little bit, and I'll reiterate it when I get there, but why the hell does Millicent come there to break up with him? Why can't they do that at another fucking time? That's
I
so
know.
mean.
I know, it's really bad. But
Yeah.
good for the show.
Anyways, I don't know. This is dumb, probably, but I still think it's a conflict of interest for Chris to be calling people. I know that like he can act as a citizen and not as the, city manager, but it also feels weird to me if I got a call from him. But they do say that that's correct.
Really?
That you can still do that.
Yeah, well, because he's acting as a private citizen at that
Yeah.
point.
So like if he endorsed her as like city manager Chris Traeger
Yeah.
endorsed Leslie, that would be wrong.
That's a
Or
thin-
unless like he was doing it for like a political move or something. But
That's
and, like,
a
raising
thin little
money.
line.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the difference? Especially
But
because he
Chris
gets
Traeger,
on.
the private citizen, can call and ask for money.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of
I don't
funny because he gets so on Ben and Leslie.
Yeah.
about the other thing.
But apparently that's like within reason. I don't know.
Okay.
Just
Red
thought
tape.
I'd mention that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're bowling, and Leslie's trying to be laid back, but she has no idea how to like be relaxed or chill, and she like looks like she has scoliosis.
That's my favorite line of this.
Really?
I have a sister that has scoliosis.
You might need some help.
Oh, it's so funny. I also love that she has the binder. That's like another just like classic Leslie.
And it's a
like,
big ass binder
like
too.
Too far. Like too far. Like the comments mean yes, but like too far. Like
Oh my god, it's so big.
so big. Like
I
yeah.
can't get over it.
And also like what I imagine there was like a 48-hour period where she did that research about that man and then scheduled the bowling event. Like
Yep. And it turns out he isn't even that good of a bowler.
yeah. Yep.
So, just saying. But I do think it's a good idea about, like having a meet and greet situation and like not trying to be chill. And she's doing it obviously for her own purposes for this bowling guy to understand that she's good at bowling. Ask Ron. But it is a good idea, like when you really think about it, I guess.
No, yeah.
So I would do that. I think if I knew that a mayor or something was hosting an event like that, I would go. If I, was free,
Hopefully it just wouldn't be specifically targeted to you. It was like
Maybe
a Parks and Rec meetup event. Like
you said what?
It was like, oh, the mayor invited me to this Parks and Rec meetup event.
Maybe I would love that.
That was cat themed.
Oh my god. No, that's what I would do if I was running.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, where are we? Oh yeah, this is where the favorite restaurant in Pawnee comes up. Hamburgers and hot dogs. It's like $1.35 for a hamburger. Like what? Ron's face is so cute though. It's very giddy.
I know. It's like you can tell he loves this place. Like it's
does Costco still have like seriously like $1 hot dogs?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's like $1 hot dog, $1. The drinks are like 25 cents. Or what, it's like whatever when they started, they like that's their thing. They like held their prices.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they good? Or they're just like whatever.
They're just. I mean, they're good because they're $1.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just curious.
Yeah.
Then we've got Tom
It's not
showing
worth the
up.
$50. I mean, what is it? A $500 membership to get?
I know. I was thinking that's why they have to keep their prices because, like, it's is it really? Yeah. It's not $500.
I don't know how much it is. Yeah. I mean.
But still, like,
it's still
everybody
like
shops and buys 800,000 things there, so they have leftover money.
Yeah. Well, and
to
I
give
think the
away
whole
$1.
thing with Costco is like they make their money on because it's wholesale. They don't really make money on the profit. They make money on the membership. Like that's their thing. Yeah. So they can just keep their hot dogs low. But it's a good hot dog.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't benefit because I live by myself and I don't know.
We're on our Sarah's parents membership and we go like once every 3 months and like get meat and then like freeze it. That's all we do because it's ridiculous. You don't save money because when you go you spend like $500. So you're not saving money. You think you're saving money, but you're not. Like it's
maybe if you have kids and stuff.
If you had
totally
25 kids and but maybe you don't have 25 kids. But teach them.
Do what you want to
do.
Do
what you want to do. But Costco memberships.
Well, okay. So
anyhow.
Tom shows up. Tom shows up and he has a Louis Vuitton bowling bag, a scorpion jacket. Like he is just treat yourself illustrated.
He is, just extra.
It is so funny and so like cute and just so on point for him. So I think that's cute and whatever. And then Chris has we're back at the bowling thing. Chris has $75 already, and April only has $5, which I feel like was maybe her money because I don't even think she's called anyone. Like $5.
It doesn't look like who gets $5? Well, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. Also, she wasn't on the phone, so like I just think $5 was just up there. Also, side note, I don't think I realized until I watched this episode this time was that it's the 12th one. It's the 12th phone bank. That's a lot of times. I thought this was like maybe the first one or the only one that they did, but they have been doing this for quite some time.
Really?
It's a big commitment.
Man, their commitment to Leslie is
for a small town. Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. That's nice.
That is nice.
And then Chris is talking to someone named Deirdre Splatterfork. These names that they come up with, man, they are just next level.
I knew a Deirdre once.
Really?
Yeah, I did a song for a girl, and her name was Deirdre.
Was she cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really cool.
Well, shouts to you, Deirdre.
Yeah. But that's the only other time I've heard that name.
What?
That's the only time I've ever heard that name.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've. Oh, I wonder. One of my family friend people, is her, like, she goes, it's short for Dee Dee. I bet her name is Deirdre.
Yeah.
I'll ask her. Anyhow, okay, everyone else is a mess. Andy is like, no, we can't accept over $50. That's crazy.
Who gave that boy a phone?
Oh my God. And then Jerry is a mess, giving away his social security number.
Jerry. That's like not the first time, too. He does that at the telethon, doesn't he?
Oh, I think you might be
Isn't
right.
he like, well, I don't know why you would need my something? Or doesn't he do that again?
I mean, that line is in this one, but he definitely does something weird. Maybe it's his credit card
Maybe
number.
it's his credit card. I think
Or
I think it is. Yeah.
But yeah, and then he's that line of like, well, it couldn't hurt. Oh my God.
He's so precious. He's so innocent.
What a baby.
Yeah.
And side note, his social starts with 210, which would be Pennsylvania, not Indiana.
Ooh.
And to be quite frank, I did not know that social security numbers go by state.
I didn't either. Interesting.
Indiana starts with 303.
Wait, you said that's Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not mine. And I was born there.
Well, Indiana goes from 303 to 317. So maybe
So there's a
Pennsylvania.
range?
Yeah, there is a range. So
Interesting. Well, maybe he wasn't born in Indiana.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't.
Maybe he was born.
Poser. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. And that doesn't matter. I'm sure they didn't research that. But Donna is so funny too. Absolutely nothing. What are you wearing? Oh my God. They're all like with just one or two lines. They all are so illustrated in who this character is.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
Amazing.
Oh my God. And then Chris gets $100 more and starts dancing very annoyingly. And this is the first time that I've like been on April's side. I now everybody, all the parks people, all the park pals pretty much know where I stand on Chris. I think he's annoying and I'm sorry. But
really?
there are, yeah,
Oh,
I do. The more that I've been,
I love Chris.
I can't. I mean, he has his good moments. He really does. He has his good moments, and I've acknowledged that. But the more I've researched it, the more I'm just like, and like taking my little notes and like seeing his arc of like, I don't know, he's just annoying to me. His joy is like, this is where I'm with April. I don't know what's wrong with me.
That's
I
funny.
was just like,
that's
can
how
we
I
just
see.
take that away?
That's how I see Kelly, or not Kelly. Aaron on The Office.
Aaron, I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
Which I think is the point. That's how a lot of people I think are supposed to feel. Maybe not the point,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I also love the gal who plays Aaron, so I think that helps me. And I mean, not that I
You
don't like
hate
Rob
Rob
Lowe.
Lowe?
It's just like Rob Lowe doesn't know how to be a person anymore. He's like, from all his interviews, he is just like a celebrity. The end.
Yeah.
From
have
what I
heard a
can
few,
tell. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just observing, like, from the difference between Amy Poehler and Rob Lowe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's been a
famous for
celebrity and, like,
so
super
long.
famous forever.
I know, since he's been so little. And he was such
So he
like...
doesn't know, like, of course he would be.
And he was like... He's just like the quintessential Hollywood beautiful person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he's been that for his whole life. And he's still beautiful. Like...
Yeah, and he's got the Atkins smile and...
and the Atkins money.
and Atkins money.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that is totally an aside. I still love his acting. I think
You're
he's a
just
good
bitter
actor.
that he has a Parks and Rec podcast.
He's not on it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, they switched it to Jerry and one of the writers that was like contributing.
Wait, Jerry, like Jerry?
Jerry.
Really?
Like,
I wonder how it is now.
I'm the worst. What?
Have you listened to it? Is it good?
I haven't listened to it. I think they did a couple episodes and then they stopped because of the strike. I don't know if they've picked back up. But yeah, Alan Yang and Rob Lowe are not doing it anymore. It's one of the writers. God, Chris Levine? No, shit. I don't know. One of the writers and Jim O'Hare, that's his name.
Wow. Okay.
That are doing it now. I know, wild. But yeah, I'll start listening back up. I just don't know if they've, started again.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay. Oh yeah, April saying like, I want to take away his happiness. I don't want to take away his happiness. I just want him to like. Anyways, Tom is saying what to type in for bowling and starts naming off all these crazy names. My top two are Tommy Tsunami and Tiki Tiki Tom Tom.
Classic.
The Tiki Tiki Tom Tom is totally Chicky Chicky Parm Parm.
Yeah. What does he end up going with?
Ron just types in Tom.
Tom. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And he's like, classic.
Classic. That's right. Yeah.
And then he writes girl for Anne. Oh my God. Girl? It's so funny. Also, the Tiki Tiki Tom Tom reminded me of when we got Panna Cotta and you made up Panny. What did you say?
Panny Cotta.
we need like a 2-syllable at the end. Panny Cotta? No.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We need to plan another Treat Yourself Day. I guess
I
the
know.
DR was
The actual Treat Yourself Day was yesterday, or it was sometime this week, like when it actually aired. It was so precious. I know, crazy.
Yeah.
We do need to plan that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Leslie is talking to people. This guy says it's nice to meet you and get to know you. This really is a good idea. This actor's name is Frank Kopyk, I want to say. It's spelled Kopyc. So I think that's how you say it. But he's been in he's been in a TV series called Where the Bears Are, something like that. Grey's Anatomy, Days of Our Lives, Father of the Bride. Why did I write Bridge? I was off on my game on that note. Sorry, Frank. But he's been in a bunch of things, and I could not find his information as far as hearing from you. So reach out, Frank, if you'd like to talk to me. I'd love to hear from you. But great job.
Great job.
Okay, now we see that the guy in the focus group that said Leslie was bad at bowling is there, and Leslie made a handmade invitation to give to him. I imagine her driving to his house and not even putting in the mail, because the way that he phrased it seemed like it could have been mailed. I think she drove to his house.
Yeah, that seems on brand.
And the way it was shaped and everything, like.
Yeah, and you have to make sure he gets it.
You said what?
She probably placed it and then waited outside of his house and
made sure he got it.
To make sure he gets it. Yeah,
that is so true. I bet he did.
Man.
Oh my gosh. And then we have Ron getting a strike, and Tom does that bull between your legs thing, which reminds me of the other Disney movie,
Alley Cat Strike.
Alley Cat Strike.
Yeah. That move does seem like it works.
I know. Honestly. Yeah. Let's do that. We shouldn't be embarrassed. Good job, Tom.
Also, the last time I went bowling, did you know that so we went bowling and there was a group of professional bowlers next to us. They don't put their fingers in the ball. They just cup it. I was like, whoa. And they throw it so oddly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they throw it in a way where they make it spin kind of sometimes.
Yeah, it does. Crazy.
I feel like I feel like I heard, I don't know where I heard this. But sometimes they put one finger in to balance it, kind of thing. I don't know. It seems wild. Why even have them there?
For us.
For the amateur.
For the amateurs, it's like a safety. It's
but it totally works.
It's like the training wheels.
Yeah, training wheels. Yeah. Oh my gosh, bumpers. Those could work too.
Yeah.
It is embarrassing for a little bit, but you won't get to.
You want to have a good day or a bad day?
Yeah. Yeah. I like when Tom says, "Let's knock these little pins down."
There are people watching.
There are people watching, and he doesn't care because he's getting strikes. And his bowling ball is just another example of all the random-ass Entertainment 720 shit that he made for his swag. Honestly, though, if I was a bowler, a real bowler, I think I would buy that. You
should buy that.
Because it looks really cool and shiny, and the design actually is not bad. No one knows what E720 means, but, it still looks cute.
I wonder how much a nice bowling ball is.
I don't know. I did, I don't know why my dad did this, but my dad bought me a bowling ball
really?
When I was younger, and we went, a lot. I was never in a league or anything like that, but he did buy me one, and it was nice. It was cool to have my own.
Yeah.
But it wasn't I was little, so I grew out of it, I feel, pretty fast, but.
It looks like if you're getting a custom-ish one, it's $150 to $300.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I feel every hobby you have to spend money.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of nasty when you think about it, though. They're probably not really. You can't sanitize it as much as you.
Also, those shoes.
Oh my god.
They ain't sanitizing those shoes. They're just spraying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like bowling though. I'll go.
We should go.
Anyways. Okay. Let's see. So Leslie is I can't change some things, but I can win that guy over. And Ben is but it's about the big picture. You can't just focus on this guy. We need everybody to see that different side of Leslie.
Yeah. Gotta knock all the pins down.
Yeah, you gotta knock all the pins down, not just one. And saying not everyone is gonna like you to Leslie Knope is like the worst thing ever, I feel.
Yeah.
And that just makes her want to push harder. That does not make her want to calm down.
No, yeah.
I feel like this is one side, though, where when I was watching this, it just came up to me that, like, this is one side, though, where I, like, have grown maybe before Leslie has.
Well, she gets there later in the show.
She does get there later. I don't know. I just, like, people used to say, and still do sometimes, of, like, yeah, Holly can get along with anybody. She can talk to anybody. And you know what? I can talk to everybody surface level, but I don't need everybody to like me. And it turns out I actually don't like everyone.
There you go. Growth.
And I feel like that's growth for me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's
I don't think
reasonable.
you're supposed to. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're, like,
No.
that's not how the world, like, was built all the time. Like, you can be community and, like, surface level.
You don't have to
but
punch
you're not
them in the
supposed to be best
face every
friends with
time you
everybody,
see them. No.
You know?
No.
What'd you say, punch in the face?
I said
What?
you don't have to punch them in the face every time you see them,
Correct.
but yeah, you don't. You can just choose not to
Well,
have a
none of my
relationship.
dislike is usually to that level, unless they're, like, really awful to me.
Well, you
But-
know what I mean. It's like,
I know
it's like they're, yeah, I think that's good growth, like recognizing that. Because the other, it's more of it, like it's like an inward expression.
Well, it's also about reciprocity, too. Like, this guy doesn't like her and is not showing her any kindness at all. So, Leslie, why are you trying so hard? Because this vote, it's one guy, it's one vote. You know what I mean?
But
like, I know that's a big
Leslie.
deal. You want everybody. We're in that. We haven't reached that arc yet.
Yeah.
So, anyhow.
It's a fixation.
I love this. What'd you say?
It's just like a fixation, It's like
Oh.
when you just say something, it's like I don't care how many places I burned down, I'm gonna get that one. Like,
It's true. Yeah. She has tunnel vision now.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping her.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of that, I love this talking head that she says, I'm just going to, like, do a couple things, lose intentionally to make him feel better, friend him on Facebook, and by the end of the night, he will be mine.
Dang. It's crazy.
Oh my God. Okay. So I have a crazy full circle kind of moment. I've been so excited to tell this to you guys. First of all, the bowling location is Pickwick Bowl in Burbank, California, in LA, 1001 Riverside Drive. And I looked it up where it was because that name sounded familiar. And this is actually where I had a going away party from when I was moving from LA to Nashville.
Really? Oh my
I am
gosh.
not joking. I did like the deepest of dives, Sean. I went on my old Facebook because remember when you used to use Facebook to like have events
Yeah.
and like invite people to your events?
Yeah.
I actually did that. That was recent. Like we did that for the Harry Potter parties when I first moved here. I was looking
Yeah.
at my old events and I was like,
Yeah.
no one even does. I mean, I don't do that anymore.
No, yeah.
Um,
That's
'cause I don't really get
crazy.
on
So
Facebook
it's still
anymore.
it's still a bowling alley.
Well, sadly,
Okay.
I have some sad news. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that later because I have a whole thing. But
Okay.
no, it is not a bowling alley anymore. It will be closed soon. But
But
I
that's
think you can still
crazy
drive
that
by
you
it.
went and you bowled.
I know, and I didn't know I was on like hallowed effing ground. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. Also,
It's
it's crazy
crazy.
that like all bowling alleys like that look like exactly the same.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just like
they-
in the 90s.
Totally, they have not changed.
No. Yeah.
But
that's
I
so
did find
cool,
on
though.
this Facebook event that I was on lane 14, and I tried to find which lane I was in, or sorry, which lane they were in, but I didn't see the lanes. I feel like they covered the numbers up or something.
Yeah. Maybe you touched
So if
the
anybody
same
sees
ball.
them, you said what?
Maybe you touched the same ball as Leslie
Maybe I
Knope.
did. Maybe I did.
Maybe you did.
Because
bet
I
you
was
did.
right, like I wrote a comment or whatever on the Facebook group when we got there, and I was like, we're in lane 14. I
Wow.
just remember it really well. There was a bar, arcade games, and it was like, you can come and go. It was so special. And then I found in the comments that we were going to do YouTube karaoke after at my place in North Hollywood, and people came over and we sang Hamilton and just like everything. And I was like, literally nothing has changed.
Mm,
Except for now I'm in Nashville.
that's awesome.
But it was so special. It was so cute. I texted all my friends. Shouts to Chris and Mia because I'm still best friends with them. And I like sent them because Mia had commented because I wrote in the little description thing like, if you don't want to bowl, there's a bar. And Mia was like, Holly, knowing her audience, like nobody. I mean, maybe you don't want to bowl. And so I'll post those too because what a fun little memory.
Yeah, that
but
is
my
a
mind
fun-
is still blown. I can't believe that I was there
Yeah,
when Amy
that's,
Poehler was there too. I mean, not
of
at the
all
same time,
the-
but you know what I mean?
Yeah, of all the places to go
Of all
bowling.
the places.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
just very full circle. But we went at night, so it was very like neon lights, kind of, you know how bowling does that, but they're doing it bright lights, which I think all bowling people do that, or bowling alleys do that now at night. And
Yeah.
they did not.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the story continuing to your question. They are closing Pickwick Bowl / I think it's already closed, I think. But they're building townhomes there. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
like
get
everything.
this, the city council approved it. That was in the article. And I was like, Leslie, the city council? Are you kidding me? But she didn't have any say. She would never have approved. She would never. Are you kidding?
No.
But anyways, and then, so they're going to be townhomes. I don't know when that's going to happen. But the other thing is that from the campaign trail episode, we talked about the ice skating rink and everything. That is called Pickwick Ice Skating Rink in Burbank, where that was. And so I guess they're like a family or something, or like a branch of something. I don't know.
Pickwicks.
But that's not closing.
Okay.
That is still there. And that is also where the LA Kings practice, I think, or we landed on that they practice there and then they play at the Staples Center, which, as a friendly reminder, is called Crypto.com Center now because they bought it. It's never going to be that.
No,
Stop
that's
trying
one
to
of
make
those
that
things
happen.
that doesn't work.
No.
Yeah,
It is always the
especially the
Staples
.com. The Crypto Center is bad, but it's still a little bit better than Crypto.com Center. It's the www.crypto.com Center.
HTTPS / Oh my God.
Oh,
But anyways,
man.
I just
That's
like,
crazy.
oh my God. What an amazing moment in time and full circle situation. Because Chris, who also came to that I was talking about, is also on the pod with me now and like comes and she did a couple strike pods. It's just what a moment.
Full circle.
Crazy.
Yep.
Also, the Pawnee Bowling Alley is called Rocky's Rock and Roll Bowl. Just side note.
Okay.
It was like on the little end of the lanes.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like a very Leslie type of place.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now Leslie's hanging out with Derek, the guy that doesn't like her, and she just literally can't be casual. This is, I think, where the scoliosis line comes up.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you
How does
rocking, a
this-
15-pounder? I would never ask that. Also,
Such a
15
great
pounds a lot. I feel like I usually do like, I don't know, like 9 or 10. You do 15
yeah,
pounds?
I think I do like a 10 or a 12. But yeah, 15 is a lot.
Yeah, it just seems like too heavy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love this line that she has. I've talked about it so many times because I've done this with like guest stars where they're like, no, I don't really remember like what really happened in that episode. And then I start to jog their memory. And then this one guy was like, oh yeah, that's right. Who knew? And I'm like, I knew.
I knew. Yeah. You just prompt them to say it. Yeah.
Yes,
I know.
exactly.
Is that the
I
Ice Road
knew.
Trucker thing? Or-
No, that was the wings thing.
oh, the wings
Oh,
thing.
you like
Yeah, yeah,
wings?
Yeah.
Who knew?
yeah. Who knew?
I knew.
I knew. God, it's so weird.
It's so weird. And then Leslie's mad because she bowled a strike, and then she wants to like lose to him or whatever, which is really awkward.
Yeah.
But then
I do that
this
all
is
the
where
time.
she's not casual or subtle at all when she talks about the Ice Road Truckers.
Yeah, she just brings that one up. Also,
Yeah,
I've never
just-
seen Ice Road Truckers.
You know, I have seen a couple episodes, but it was a million years ago, obviously, because that's when this came out. But I feel like my aunt or somebody used to watch it like a lot, and it would be
it's
on
kind of
every
an
now and again.
Old oh yeah, it's like one of those like, what channel is it on? Like
It's like the History Channel, I think.
yeah, like
maybe?
History or like Discovery.
Discovery.
It's like one of those. Yeah, like Deadliest Catch. I put those in like the same.
Deadliest Catch was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they are interesting. I would actually really like
crazy.
to watch more of the Discovery and History Channel. I think, I don't know, and maybe you said this, I guess, older, but I'm not that we're older, but I kind of like would be okay watching. I love documentaries and like learning something new by watching a movie.
No, totally. I say that, yeah, and like I even like Deadliest Catch. I've heard of Deadliest Catch, but it was maybe like a couple months ago. It was like on, and I like watched a little bit of it, and I was like, these people are crazy. Like it's like so insane that they do that, and it's so dangerous, and like they're dying, and like
What is Deadliest Catch though? What are they catching? Or is it just deadly because of the storms?
they
Or both?
I'm speaking out of my butt, but I don't really know. It's like they're fishermen that own this company that do like this Like, it's not a commercial fishing organization, so it's like they do it for this town or whatever. And like they are out in waters that are just these crazy storms. I mean, it's just so dangerous, like just where they have to go to fish. And it's like
crab
normal
fishing
fish.
off the Alaskan coast.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy.
Icy Bering Sea. Is it still on? Oh my god.
Man, that's like a different
I think it's
level.
still on. Is it canceled for 2023?
Is it history?
It returns in April 2023, so it's on with episodes featuring a mix of seasoned skippers and novice fishermen who are trying their luck in the Bering Sea. Is that why people call people young skipper? Because that means you're not a fisher?
Young skipper.
Oh my god. Anyways.
Anyhow.
Yeah, that's wild. That's still on.
Crazy.
But, okay, I did do some research on, not really research, but kind of, sort of. She says the Tuktoyaktuk Winter Road. That's how cold the beers are. Oh, my God. So not so.
So not so.
This is in Canada, this road, and it's an ice road connecting Mackenzie River and the Arctic Ocean. It closed in 2017 because they opened an all-season terrain, which I don't know why they didn't do that earlier, but whatever. I'm sure there's lots of information that goes into it. But I also found that this was an old dog sled route.
Oh, crazy. That's
is
something that would be
crazy.
fun to do.
I know.
Can you imagine?
But it's just like wild to think of, like, tractor trailers are already like fucking crazy and dangerous and whatever, but like to do that on ice. Oh my god. It really reminded me of when on my I'm talking about LA a lot. When I moved from LA to Nashville, we were doing our road trip out there and we had to go through the Aspen Pass in Colorado, and only one side of the road was paved, and we saw people like plowed, I mean. And we saw tractor trailers like putting on chains, and we were like, what the fuck? Because we didn't have that. And and it was, I don't know why, but only the left side, as in the passing side, was paved. And I stayed in that passing line the whole fucking time, and people were passing me on the icy one because I was just like, I'm not going to die tonight.
Not today. Not today.
Just going to go really slow. That's also where, I think I mentioned this like a while ago, but that's also where the windshield wiper fluid froze. And so when I tried to wipe my windshield, it just like smeared it even more. And I was like, oh my God. That was the scariest that Darlene has ever been. I think driving with me. She was in the passenger seat. It was terrible. And I was just like, we're just taking deep breaths. We're going 15 miles an hour. And I was like, if these people want to pass us, go ahead and pass us. But that's where we stopped in Breckenridge, which is like the most snow globe town
oh my
ever.
Gosh, yeah.
It's so beautiful. Have you been there?
Yeah. My cousin lives there. She's an instructor at a ski school. And
oh my God. In Breckenridge?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and when we had done one of our tours, when we did that Colorado thing, we played in Breckenridge, and the other town, or in like Crested Butte is right near there. And
I feel like we had this conversation. You might have played at like one of the places that we went to get food or something sometime. I can't remember. Really?
It's yeah, you're right. It's like the most beautiful, picturesque place. Yeah.
So cool.
I'd love to go back there.
Me too. That would be a fun trip. Sierra said she wants to do a ski trip, so let's go.
I would do that again.
I'm not going to go skiing. I'm so sorry, but I'll go.
We'll go in the hot tub. Yeah.
And I'll go in the hot tub, and I'll drink hot chocolate.
Let's go. Let's go.
But I can't. Anyway, just getting back to, I can't imagine being a tractor trailer driver on ice. That's insane.
No, crazy.
Anyways, okay, so. Oh yeah, I was also gonna say that it's kind of funny how she says that road name too. Like it's totally rehearsed and like performed.
Yes. Like, she's like.
Yeah.
And it's also like to really make sure he hears it. It's like she's
exactly.
Just like,
Yes.
Nuts.
All right, so now we're back at the calling campaign moment, and April's trying to be nice, and I love this from Aubrey Plaza, blending into whatever character she needs to get the money. This is probably one of my favorite moments. I don't know. Mira. It's like, whatever, it don't matter.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, mira means look, and it's a very Hispanic thing to say, I feel.
Yeah. So good.
Look, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Also, when she tries to be Southern, you can't eat the biscuits if you don't pay for the flour. Honestly, I think that's a great saying. I don't know that I've ever heard it, but that's true.
Yeah.
Well done. If Katie Dippold wrote that.
More power.
There is a deleted scene here where Aubrey Plaza does even more videos. Does even more like characters. Let me play it for you really fast.
Nice.
Oh my God, totally. And then he said, what? And then what did you say? That is so great. You guys have total sparks. You're like made for each other. That's so awesome. So anyway, what would you like to contribute? Oh, yes, I also love gardening. Yes. Oh, look, I lost track of the time gabbing away with you, Harvey. It was so nice. What shall I put you down for? Let me get my glasses and my old pen. Oh, wonderful. Oh, no, I'm married. Yes, 17 children. Oh, that is divinely interesting. What a fascinating life you lead. Oh, I love horses. Yes, we should. I'll go to the stables soon and pick out a horse for you to ride. How much was that again?
God,
It's so
that's
good.
funny. Get my old pen.
Because I'm old. I thought it really reminded me of when oh my god, I forgot the Tinnifer or whatever.
Jennifer. I was just gonna say that when yeah. I hope she's talking to her.
Yes, exactly. Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
I thought that was really wonderful to see from Aubrey because I don't think that we've seen a lot of like different character vibes from her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a good episode for Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Good
It
for
really
her.
is. Good for her.
All right, so now Chris is giving therapy to people over the phone, and to be honest, I feel like he's kind of manipulating people too, but he doesn't really know it, so maybe it's not manipulating. But he's doing the same thing as Aubrey
Yeah.
or April. But I
Well,
guess he's
it's
being
just
more
like
nice
that's
about
what like I feel like Chris Traeger is like his first like instinct is to just like fix like
Mhm.
and that's he's just like going into fix it mode. I like just classic Chris Traeger.
it. When he goes up to the fourth floor and tries to comfort that one lady who's crying, but he didn't even know her or what she was
Yeah.
crying about. He was just like, I don't know, I just wanted to help.
Yeah.
So anyhow, back at bowling, they seem to be getting along, kind of, sorta, but then he's being mean, like this whole try not to break a nail when like she literally bought you wings and beer and she's being so nice. Like, fuck that guy. I'm so mad at him,
know.
but I get madder. But
Yeah.
try not to break a nail. Like, get out of my face.
Yeah.
But perfect writing.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, I really need to see Norma Ray. I feel like I'd like that movie. It's super popular, and like so many people mention it. It's about unions and
The
how
Sally
unions
Field
are
movie,
good.
yeah.
Sally Field is like super popular in it. But I definitely need to watch it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many of those like older movies that I've heard. What was the one that I was like Molly Ringwald? Is she in The Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
I've never seen The
In Sweet
Breakfast Club.
16.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
You never seen Breakfast Club? You would like
No.
it. It's weird, but it's good.
Yeah.
By weird, I just mean like I feel like it's newer for what they were doing.
They were
back in the
doing
day,
during that
if
time,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
You would like it. It's
And I need to go back and watch it.
It's honestly, it's like Riverdale, but from like the whatever
Perfect.
year that
I'll love
was.
it.
What was that? 80s.
Yeah.
Anyhow, okay. So again, this is where my personality and Leslie's like departs. Like I would leave 1000% with him, but that's okay.
Leave
and then
with
Ben comes
him?
over and is like,
Holly.
"What?
You would leave with him?
Oh no!
That's what
Oh.
That's where you
Oh my
where you depart. You would just seduce him.
I would depart without him, but you never know.
You would.
Anyhow, okay, so Ben is like, what are you even doing? And then Derek is even mean to Ben, like thinking that he works there. Oh my
I know.
god.
Yeah. He's off his rocker.
Now Chris is sharing that he wants Millicent to move in with him, and Jerry starts to be weird, and Andy suggests that they all live
I
there
love
together,
that
which
one.
I think is really funny, actually.
Yeah.
That would be really crazy. But also, like, he's already working with a realtor, like, before he even asked her?
Yeah. That's just
I don't think
Chris,
that's
too.
smart.
No. It's just like 1,000% just go.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know,
You're right.
Like,
it's
dude,
very
you
Chris.
gotta like maybe he thinks he's having good intentions, but yeah, it's just like his character, you know.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. He's just full steam ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's going to do it, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
Also, I thought it was really interesting that he mentioned the octagonal house because it really reminded me, and I might be alone in this, but when I used to play The Sims, they used to have like an octagonal house.
never
But
played The
that's the only
Sims,
place I've
but-
ever seen it, not like in real life.
Interesting. I don't remember that line.
Yeah, he said it's like good for energy flow, and he's
Oh,
working with
yeah,
the
yeah.
realtor to find one.
Yeah. That'd be
So.
difficult to find.
especially in Pawnee. Are you kidding me? Or
Yeah.
even in like Muncie. What?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to build that.
Yeah.
And then Jerry spills the beans after Chris leaves. Well, after Jerry kind of tells Chris to leave. And that Millie's gonna break up with Chris. Yikes.
Yikes. I know. I love how
Sad.
close Jerry is, like, with his family.
Yeah. I know
like,
that is nice.
Yeah.
That part's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, oh yeah, Anne does the thing that we all do, like when she's bowling, she's like trying to push it over with her mind, like in her hand, like just go
I know.
over. And she's like the only normal one in this whole episode.
I know. Really, though.
She always
really
is. And
is.
I've said this before. I feel like sometimes I didn't know what to do with Anne. She's
Yeah.
always a straight man, and sometimes it's like Leslie's just so wild, and so is everyone else.
Yeah.
But she does great.
Yeah.
Ron misses his spare, and he's like so frustrated, and accidentally, but kind of like purposefully, knocks a ball into Tom's finger, and then Tom turns into a female bird.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
when
it
Anne
was,
says
like,
that. My
taps him.
fingies were in the air.
I mean, like, that could be bad, but I don't think it was.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it hurt, but probably not as bad as he's maybe making it seem. I don't
Hit a
know.
little baby.
But at the same time, it could have been because Ron seemed to be frustrated, and I don't think that he was having a good time. So.
No. Yeah.
All right. Well, this part is so crazy because we come to like the conclusion where, well, almost a conclusion
This is
where
when
this
they
guy's like,
blow
I
up.
don't like you. What?
Yeah. This is when they blow up.
Yes. Yeah. And it all comes to a head, kind of. And he's like, well, again, like I said, almost. But he's like, I don't like you. I'm not voting for you just because I don't like you. And like, why would you hang out with someone if you don't like them? I guess because he's getting free stuff. But that shows you that you're not supposed to get along with everyone.
Yeah.
Just like, this makes no sense. But that's how some people are. They just are like, whatever. I don't like you, but I guess I'll like still go bowling and eat all your food.
Yeah, it's weird that he would even go. Like, if he really dislikes, I don't know.
He just wants the free shit. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like he's not even thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is where Leslie loses it and is like, well, you suck at bowling, so if I win in the next game, you have to vote for me. And then if I lose or whatever, she has to clean his house for a month. Done.
Yeah.
Ugh, awful.
I
And
love
then
how
Ben-
he just had that loaded up too. Like,
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. He must make a lot of weird bets like that, probably.
yeah, yeah. He's
But
a
Ben is like,
gambling
I'd like
addict.
to introduce you to my friend, anyone else.
Anyone else? I know. I love how he like is just trying, and then he kind of realizes like, well, can't do nothing.
What
Let
are
her
you
do
gonna
her thing. Yeah, and then she beats him, right?
Yeah, she beats him
Yeah.
because he's not even that good of a bowler.
Yeah. Ask around.
But before that, in the next scene, this is where Millie breaks up with Chris, and this is where Jerry's face is like really sad for them both. Like she walks in and his face is like scrunched up, like
Yeah.
sorry.
It is
But
so
again-
weird that she does it there.
Why?
Is
So
that
let's go for a
whose
walk?
house is that? Andy's?
Yes, it's Andy and April's
Yeah.
and Ben's technically.
Yeah. It's not
She just
like
wants
it's
to get it
even
over
at
with?
Jerry's house or something. Like, you know? Yeah.
I don't know. It was fucking crazy. I was like, do not, especially when he's gonna have to come back and get his stuff.
I mean, it's great in that way. Like, it makes a great scene.
I know,
It's
but
so
I always try to think
awkward.
about it if it was real life. Awful.
Yeah.
Ugh, so
Yeah.
awkward. I do love that Champion like jumps into Andy's hands. It's actually really cute.
Yeah.
Like he just like
Oh,
leans down and
Champion.
it's a she. It's
Oh,
her
that's
name
right.
is Lucy.
Yeah, I remember you saying
But
that.
Champion just jumps into Andy's hands. He's like, we
Yeah,
hate
baby.
awkward situations.
Yeah. So funny.
All right, now Leslie is beating Derek, and this is where it's kind of tough and awful.
Mm.
And oh yeah, I skipped over the part where Donna says like take the coat because it's about to get cold out there. That's awful, but also
Donna.
a good
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
And then April's a wizard now because she wished for Chris's happiness to go away,
Yep. She did
and
it.
it happened.
Yep.
Okay. Now we can get back to where Derek is being a sore loser because Leslie most certainly beat him, and he's like such a sourpuss. Like he cannot take it that he
Yeah.
lost, which most cowards are.
Yeah.
So he's a dumbass, and I paused it, and it's really funny because like when they're talking after Ben says that, or after Amy Poehler says that she beat him or whatever, Ben's face in the background is like so tense and like
Yeah.
weird, and like what's happening, like his eyes are bulging out of his head, and I was like, that's a fun little detail.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so hyper stressed. And I love that in the moment where she thinks she beat him,
Mhm.
like she thinks like she did it.
Yeah.
Like now we're cool. Like the she can't feel his like his rage,
His
you
hatred,
know?
his
It's
anger.
Like that. This is making it even worse.
I know. It's so awful. She's like trying to be like professional / like mature almost of like,
Yeah.
I get it. This was like stupid, but all
Like
jokes
fun,
aside,
ha,
I
ha,
did have
ha.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
I'll
he-
just write in bitch.
Yeah.
Ugh. Tough. Tough one.
Oh,
Also
man.
stupid.
Oh man.
Oh, but before that, actually, I did some, like, I don't know. I tried to look up average bowling scores, and there's not really much info apart from people who've been, like, playing for a while. But the average, or the perfect bowling score is 300 for anyone that, wants to
Okay.
know. So I think that what I found basically was that, like, 100 and below is, like, I don't know, your average person, whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, anything above, like, 150, 200 is, like, really good. And then 300 is obviously a perfect
Yeah.
score.
Well, what
But
did they
I
get?
think, like, honestly, I'll get, like, 50 or 60.
No, you get more than that.
Do
I think
I
that's
don't know.
pretty hard to get 50 or 60.
Is it? Okay, maybe my math is not mathing. But we should go bowling and really
We
test this
should.
theory.
I actually, yeah, I have no idea, so we should go.
Which bowling alley is, like, good?
Well, we've been to the one. Oh, well, there's one right by our house. That East Side. That's really fun. That place.
Oh, yeah.
And then
That
there's
one
one
is
out
good.
in Franklin that we've been to. We played there once. Kings. That one's pretty cool. It's like more like a traditional bowling alley.
Oh, yeah. Kings
Um,
is everywhere, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And now we have the, like, pins and stuff, but that's, like, where there's, like, literally 3 lanes, and it's, like, the old-timey one.
yeah, it's like the small ball. It's almost like skee ball mixed with
Mhm.
bowling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
I
we
would
should
go
go.
to Eastside Bowl. I forgot about that place.
Yeah, it's a cool
And then-
vibe in there because it's like
Yeah.
a very retro. It's almost like the '60s in there. It's very cool.
Yeah. The same situation. All the bowling alleys just stayed the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have concerts there, too. Which
They
a
do.
lot
It
of-
has-
It's wild that a lot of bowling alleys now have that.
But that one is like a legit venue. It's really nice.
Yeah.
We saw
Our Brooklyn Bowl. That one's a famous
Oh yeah,
one, too.
yeah. That one's nice. That one's like a nice place. I wonder if it's expensive to go bowling there.
Or I went to, where I went was, sorry, this is a Nashville, I guess, deep dive, but the Pinewood Social place is really
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You do have to book those, like, in advance. You can't just roll up there because it also is a restaurant. It's, like, some fancy brunch and stuff. But I booked a lane there, and that was actually really fun.
That
was a
one's
good one.
fun. Yeah, that one's classy. Did you hear about the mini golf place that's coming to Nashville?
I was the one that told you that.
You were the one who told us that. Well, we were with
It's called
Catherine,
Putt
right?
Shack. We were literally in the DR, and I was
Oh, we
like,
were in the DR. Yeah. I know. I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
know.
opening soon.
I think it is too. I'm on their email list. I don't know when exactly it's opening, but it's like this inside looking crazy place. It looks awesome.
We should go there.
We totally will. I don't know if we'll go. Maybe we should try to see because I think I like entered my name, and that's why I get their emails now to like win a free round or some shit. I don't know.
Okay.
So, but I'm sure that they have like they'll probably have like a cool opening night or whatever,
Yeah.
like with all these games. So yeah, I'll definitely have to look into when it's opening.
Yeah.
So excited!
yeah,
I don't know
that'll
why
be cool.
Nashville doesn't have one yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Well, let's see. Derek's being a sore loser. We did that. 300 is the perfect bowling score. Oh yeah. Okay. So he's gonna write in bitch, and then he doubles down, and he's like, "Yeah, she's being a bitch." And this is when Ben gets mad, which was really interesting and cool for me to see that because we like Ben mad, especially when he's taking care of Leslie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Adam Scott did great because he was like, "Wait, what just happened?" He like blacked
I know.
out when
Yeah.
he
He's just like stunned that he did that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. Part when I was watching, I was like, "Has he ever punched anyone in his entire life?"
I don't think so.
And
I
then
love
him
how
and
they-
Leslie start making out
I
because
know.
she thinks it's so hot, and the
I
camera
know.
catches it, and it's just like this snowball of craziness and oh my gosh, chaos just ensues.
I love how that happens. Like, it happens at the end, right? When she's in the press conference.
Yeah. Yep.
So bad.
Oh my god.
It's so bad.
Well, then Ben
Amazing.
can't get it together. He's like in shock, and his adrenaline is just like going wild, and
Yeah.
he can't say anything. He can't speak.
Yeah.
And this officer that questions them is named Will McLaughlin. He's been in like
Yeah.
800,000 things. And by things I mean episodes. He's been an officer.
He's been
on
in
many
the. Yeah.
with what's his face, Louis C.K. Like
Yeah.
when they're all doing their thing. But pretty much everyone, like every episode that has police, he's been in. I feel.
Yeah.
So I hope that he gets back to us and like wants to talk about it because that would be fun. There is a deleted scene here that's really cute when they say that he's already getting requests for comments and he should resign, but it's really precious. And Leslie and Ben's love is so, like, cute. And I just wanted to play it for you, so I'm going to play it because I just think it's cute.
We're going to go to JJ's and we're going to strategize. But I just have to say, and I'm not saying I'm proud of myself for this, but watching you knock down that jerk in front of me makes me want to kiss your face hard. So we are going to make out right now for 2 minutes.
I really think it's
Ben,
important.
I'm sorry, but I'm feeling a lot of feelings right now.
And then they start making out. It's really cute.
That's funny. Very funny.
I get why they cut it because they already said all that, but it was just like Ben's face is also really precious too. He, like, when she says that, like, it was so nice. He, like, smirks in a way that he hasn't really done before. Like, oh my God, I did do that.
Yeah.
And you
They
love
are
me for
cute
it.
together. Yeah.
So cute.
Cute.
All right. Oh yeah. Anne brings Ben some ice, and Tom is like, both hurt fingies. Did you notice that ice looks so fake?
I didn't see it.
Oh my God. If you look at it, it really just looks like plastic packing peanuts or something, but clear.
It probably is.
I mean,
honestly.
I'm sure it's not real, but it just looked really fake. Maybe it's real. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did like in the background, Derek, the jerk, is like rubbing his jaw, like,
oh yeah,
he got punched. That was a nice touch. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back at Andy and April's house, and Jerry says that Millie broke up with Chris. It's awful. Damn you, Jerry!
Damn you, Jerry. So bad.
Ugh. Again, not on the same page as everybody else. But April won the challenge, but, like, she's not happy about it, which, again, is just showing how much she's, like, grown throughout this time, through seasons.
Yeah, she would have just taken the tickets and ran. Or honestly, she really wouldn't have even been there. But and then they have that moment, right? Her and Chris.
In a moment, almost.
Oh,
but before that, Ron is like, you have to bowl the final frame to Tom.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, Ron is being such a sore loser, too. He is not good at losing.
He's not. Especially to Tom. Like, and his
bowling
technique.
like a child.
It's just like, yeah.
It's just add insult to injury.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tom still does the legs move, but with one hand, and he still gets it. So that makes him even worse, which is crazy. Okay. I don't know what this note is. Ron is just, I don't know. I'm going to skip over that note. Okay. Oh, the picture. This is where they show the picture on the front newspaper or whatever of, like, where Ben punched the guy. And this is, like, the article. The picture on that paper is, like, so funny. I feel like it's gold. Ron's just staring down at the guy with a bowling ball in his hand, just like, guess you fell. What was really funny and what I've been doing lately, well, I guess I always do this, but especially lately, is I pause on anything that is written. So I pause on this paper, this article, and they repeated the same 2 paragraphs to, like, make it longer. When usually,
really?
I don't know. I think that they, in seasons 1 and 2, they, like, really made sure that they were really detailed and did everything, and they're not doing that as much, which I get. It's only on screen for, like, half a second, so I'm not mad about it. I just think it's really interesting to kind of observe how each season progresses, and maybe that's just me as a fan / analyzing this, but and they don't even care. But I was like,
interesting. Yeah. Who knows?
The first sentence though is Leslie Knope strikes again. Only this time she is bowling with a spare called Ben Wyatt, and she is striking out. And then they say there's speculation that she'll fire him, and speculation is capitalized for whatever reason. So again, one of those kind of things.
Funny.
But yeah, so they have, like, 2 paragraphs of the actual story, and then they just, like, repeat it again to make it look like it's longer.
Crazy.
But I still think that first sentence is perfect. Because
that's a great first sentence. Yeah. Very Pawnee newspaper.
Yeah, especially that.
Yeah.
Well, Ben wants to resign, but it's a non-starter for Leslie. And Ben says, just stay brief and sincere. Like, don't justify what I did at the press conference. Like, don't make it better or whatever. Also, that is a tiny amount of whipped cream. I'm going to say it.
Yep.
It was really small.
Yeah, I love that. Where he's like, actually, I'm going to need some more.
Ma'am, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Funny.
Okay, now we're with Chris. This scene with April and him. He's super depressed. She offers in the tickets. This is a huge move for April, as we were talking about. She's growing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it was huge to just give him the tickets, but the fact that she invites him to go
Yeah.
out with them two,
Yeah.
like to spend an evening together,
Yeah. That's gross.
that is like hell is
It's like-
frozen over.
Yeah, because that's probably the last thing she would have done.
Yeah, and this like also on top of that, this like half hug that she gives him.
know.
She like
They're
touches
starting
him.
to be friends.
Friends is a strong word for me personally, but
What'd you say?
I think she's just what?
What'd you say?
I feel like friends would be like a strong word for me for them too, but like at this point, but like
They
I feel like
become
she's just-
friends.
yeah, I don't know.
They do.
I don't see it. But
You have a weird thing with Chris Traeger, I will
no,
say.
I mean in this moment I don't see it. Like
Wait,
later
no,
on.
they're starting.
Yeah, but I feel like she's just starting to like I don't know, think more about other people. Not just be friends with him.
Well, that's
But okay,
becoming
whatever.
friends.
I don't think they're friends.
All right, Holly.
Anyway, she tries to. I think it's funny too. His line of like he tries to silver line it, and he's like, you know what? This might be the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Just silence.
The optimist.
But I'm proud of April. I think that she did really well.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're at the press conference. Reporters are asking a bunch of questions. This first lady who asks, like, are you going to fire Ben Wyatt? Her name is Kristen Pfeiffer. I'm not sure if she's in TV film anymore because her last thing was this on IMDb, but she could be doing commercials or other things. So if you're out there, Kristen, let me know. And great job. And the next reporter is Dave Matos. He was the one that says, like, is he going to, no. She said, are you going to fire? Oh, it's like, are you going to suspend your campaign or whatever the hell, the second guy. Anyway, he was in Arrested Development, The Shield, Shameless, a bunch others. Same thing with him. 2015 was his last thing, so like on IMDb anyway, so I'm not sure if he's doing stuff. But he does have commercial reps, so he could be doing commercials. Either way, just wanted to give shouts to them. Good job.
Okay.
And then we've got Leslie saying sorry at first, and Derek is all smug and smiling next to him. And then she changes her tune, and to be honest, I'm kind of here for it. You know what I mean?
I know.
Just like, you know what? I'm not sorry. This guy was rude, foul-mouthed. He like called me my second favorite word for a female. Which also, what do you think the first word is?
Oh.
Cunt?
Yeah.
Really? You
I
think
would
that's
assume. That's what I
like
thought.
it?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that makes sense.
I don't know what else would it be. Let's go through them.
Let's name them all.
Yeah. I feel like that's the worst one.
It could be like whore or I don't know. I guess I mean the C word is bad. Though.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just think she handles this really well. Like it was a really good arc and I
then
feel
he
like she
doubles
treats-
down.
Yeah, he does. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, he doubles down. What does he say? I think you're being a bitch right now or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
That's
on
what
like
makes
TV
it so great.
too.
It's like, what? No one's on your side now. And it's
Yeah.
kind of perfect because he does this in front of reporters so they can see like what a dummy he's being anyway, you know?
Yeah. It's funny.
But yeah. So now we're back in another focus group. Oh, I wanted to mention, I do like that she says the whole, like she adds comedy to it a little bit, like a little humor moment when she's like, so I hope that you vote for me, but if you
Yeah.
don't, like just be aware my boyfriend might punch you.
Yeah. It's a
Which is
good
really
little-
cute.
Yeah.
Great writing.
Yeah.
And great performance. Okay, so now we're back in another focus group. And the first lady likes her, and I agree. She's like tough, you know, she's sticking up for what's his name rather, Ben.
Mhm.
And the actor's name that says this is Polly Humphreys, and she is in The Thundermans, which is a Nickelodeon show, Raising Hope, a couple more things. Polly was really cute and sent me a voice memo as well, and I just wanted to give her a shout out for trying really hard to send me stuff because she'd send me emails and nothing would be attached, and then it would be like a TXT file, and then I'd be like,
Mhm.
should I send you a video on how to do it? And then I gave her my phone number, and
Oh,
we
dang.
finally got it working. So
Oh, funny.
thank you for sending those, Polly. I appreciate it very much. And I will play your voice memo.
Hi, Holly. It's Polly trying this one more time. About my day on Parks and Rec, the audition, I don't remember that well, except that I had been in for that show a bunch of times. So I was really happy to have finally booked it. The day itself was fun. It was long, and I was the only person in that focus group who was not background. So people were kind of getting antsy as the day wore on. And Retta was so cool. She was in the room. She was, joking around with people, keeping it light, it was like she was, she was a focus group wrangler. She was keeping everybody cool. And the other thing that is just, to me, was amazing was the sort of freedom on the set. Aziz Ansari is a genius. Like, I think I had to ask him what was wrong with his hand or what had happened to his hand. And every time he improv something different, and some of them were just so hilarious that I cracked up. Everybody cracked up. And, at first, being someone that wasn't on the show, that made me like, uh-oh, but it was totally fine. That was really it. The only other thing, at a focus group, there's a window and people are behind the window. And when I walked just to walk off set, I walked that way. And Adam Scott and Amy Poehler were back there. And I was like, ooh, and they were very sweet. The other thing, there's one last thing, is that my day job at the time, and it is still my day job, I am a recruiter for focus groups. So, as an actor who doesn't work often enough, I make my living booking people into focus groups. Isn't that ironic? Maybe in the Alanis Morissette way. Anyway, that's my story. Hope it helps you. Okay, bye.
Wow, that's crazy.
So precious. And I think it's cool. So I'll have to ask her how she got into that and if there's anything she sees. We had talked about this at the beginning of the episode. But yeah, and super cool, too, about the hand thing with Aziz, because I think they cut that. It wasn't in the deleted scenes, but I don't remember her asking him anything about his hand. Do you?
No, I don't. Yeah. They must have cut that.
I don't think that happened, but that was a really cool behind-the-scenes moment of, like, him, interacting with them and making everybody laugh. I like that a lot.
That's cool.
Okay. Also, side note, I guess I should check this because there is another guy that does speak as well. So she wasn't the only one that wasn't a background actor, but they may have split it up. I'll have to go back and look and see if they're in the same scene. But either way, there was one more fellow that says, I like that one guy punched that other guy, and then that one girl stood up for her and all this stuff. It was really funny. But this is really wonderful because this actor's name is Bill Coelius. Oh God, Bill, I should ask you how to pronounce your last name. I think it's Coelius, or is it Coelius? Okay, I'll ask you. But I, in a roundabout way, kind of know him, actually, because Chris, who I mentioned earlier, from LA / who I still am BFFs with and has been on the pod, taught voiceover classes with a studio called EEB Studios, who Bill teaches commercials with, who I was kind of in contact with to try to take his classes, but I didn't have any time in my schedule for that. But he has booked, I think it's over 53 national commercials. He's a regular working actor and teaches all these different classes, TV, film, commercial, mindset classes, if you want to learn how to be professional in the business and things like that. So I will post all of his information in there. But he was also in The Office, which I think is hilarious. He was in the episode with Will Ferrell at the Dundies, and he's the manager, the restaurant manager that's where did you get crayons?
Oh, that's
to
funny.
Kevin.
Yeah.
And tells them that they have to stop because they're being too loud and all that stuff. But he's done a million things. He also did American Horror Story with Lady Gaga. Mrs. Maisel was also in it. He was also in Blacklist. So many things. Oh, wow. But yeah, and then he sent me a voice memo too, and I need to. I don't actually know if I downloaded it, so let me go find it.
Hey everybody. Hello. Great podcast, guys. So good. So excellent. So I was on an episode called Bowling for Votes. Aziz is showing promotional videos and interviews and just getting feedback on Leslie Knope's likability. And I got the audition through Allison Jones Casting. I had been cast by her in The Office, which is kind of amazing to have done both shows through that office. There's this kind of wild YouTube clip, which for some reason has found the metaverse of The Office and Parks and Rec, where they find actors who have been on both. And I was on that, and that just kind of surprised me. A friend showed that to me. That's kind of like a career highlight for me, being on both of those shows, The Office and Parks and Rec, as well as getting my throat slit by Lady Gaga on American Horror Story. That was pretty great. The day was really, it was really regular. Meeting Aziz was really fun. And we went in and we shot. And, it's so amazing about those shows when they've been doing it for so many seasons. And everyone has kids and everyone has a family. And it really is run like a work day where you show up and you're in makeup and hair and you wait around, you do your shoot, but the shooting is done by 5. Like it is really run like a work day, which is really wild. So everything's very, very precise and done and quick and in and out. And that's what my day was. It was a blast. It's always a very light kind of feeling on set, and people are laughing and having a great time. And we did like 1 or 2 takes, maybe 3, and then I was done. And that's it.
And then I feel like I had asked him some questions after that. But either way, I think it's really great. Oh, he said no reaction where we shot it. Oh, it was that's CBS Radford. Oh yeah. He wrote in his email that it was pretty much, because I asked if it was the same lines, like the same sides in the audition to the set, and he said it was pretty much from the audition room to the set. They liked what they saw. The drier, the better, and I just brought that in. I even wore the clothes I came to set in, pre-approved, but still. Right. And they do that quite frequently. They always have you bring in, if they like what you were wearing, they'll remember it and have you bring it in. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh wow, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, but anyways, thanks, Bill, and thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it about liking the podcast. That was really nice and special for me to hear, so thank you for that.
That's awesome.
And yeah, that Sherverse thing is so real. Everybody talks about it. Like, that person must be in some sort of universe of the Office and the parks, and it's kind of funny. People have too much time in their hands to be making collages about it, videos about it. But I get it. I do get it. I have a Parks and Rec podcast, so I get it. All right, so the tag is Ron going back to bowling and trying Tom's method, and he's in disguise with hat and sunglasses because he thinks it's weird.
He can't let anybody know about this.
You said what?
He can't let anybody know about this.
Oh, yeah, no, he will not tell anyone. He doesn't even want to be in a lane that people can see him. He wants to be at the very last lane. Very, very last lane, which I think he says lane 22. So if you scooch over a little bit, I was in lane 14.
Amazing.
But he's got a perfect game because he does the Tom method and he doesn't want anyone to know. But the manager comes over and is like, yo, you got a perfect game. Can I put your name on the wall, your picture? He's like, I was never here.
Amazing.
Crazy. This manager's name is Bruno Alexander. He has done a ton of things, but nothing that I was mega super familiar with, but still a great working actor. He was in Risky Business. I don't know what exactly he played in that, but he was in that. Something called Red Heat, Big Stan. There's an animated movie called The Reef that looks really cute that he was in. But he was super sweet and sent a super long email that I'm going to read in its entirety because I want to. And not super long, but just long enough. But the audition was like most under 5 auditions. Under 5 meaning you have under 5 lines. And about 6 or 7 guys waiting anxiously. Most are rehearsing their lines under their breath, and one will be walking around saying lines out loud, which, oh my gosh, that is, the weirdest part about auditioning is, seeing how crazy this actually is and how, dumb and weird and not real this is. Everybody's just, muttering under their breath like they're a freaking mental patient. It's crazy. Anyways, gotta love it. So he continues to say, I need quiet, so I would wander over to a staircase or hallway away from the rest of the energy of the actors. The audition itself was pretty fast-paced. A casting director introduced me to the camera person and the reader, did my lines, a quick thank you, in and out, a walk to the Radford parking meter, and drove home. The under 5 line role is a pretty lonely gig, not much more than a glorified extra, so I came in after being fitted for the clothes I'd be wearing and sat around. What I do remember is Nick was very friendly, and that always is appreciated. We talked about how he got started, which I don't remember the specifics, but I do remember chewing on red licorice at the craft table while we talked. I have to say, Nick was a good guy to spend the time with me before our scene, and that is what I remember most.
Oh, nice.
What a wild thing to remember that you were chewing red licorice.
Yeah.
Or Twizzlers.
Yeah.
No, or Red Vines, because she's a Red Vines girl.
Yeah.
Who's to say? What are
Yeah.
you? Which one do you like?
Twizzlers.
Yeah, I think I do too, but I feel like Red Vines are like thicker or something.
I had not had red vines ever until this Halloween. Somebody had one, and I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, it did not. I thought, oh, they're going to taste pretty similar. Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
Not the same.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Bruno, for sending that email. I really appreciate it, and it was really cool to hear about how Nick is awesome and
Yeah.
just Amy Poehler's awesome. It sounds like everybody's been so great, and I just love hearing that about the set. It's so wonderful.
I know. That's so
It's so special.
That's so special.
All right. Well, let's see. Oh, he wrote. Oh, sorry. He did continue. Sorry. He wrote this just in. This is at the end of his email. I just watched episode 13 on YouTube. Now I remember things, and I've put 2 and 2 together. Again, I knew. And he says, you have to understand that under 5-line talent rarely gets the whole script, and that is exactly what happened then. I was given just my lines and showed up on set ready to interact with Nick. When the director said action and the scene commenced, I, as the actor, thought Nick was playing a rather weird character, and because I didn't watch the series, I had no idea this actually wasn't normal for him. I thought, strange that his character wants to bowl in the last lane, and what an odd way to bowl. I never saw the episode I was in either, so this is my first time seeing it. Now,
Really?
after all those years, I get it. Ron Swanson bowled that way because he was trying out Tom's style and form.
That's so funny. Wow.
It is so funny.
Not
But I
even-
mean,
yeah.
honestly, I guess at the same time, it works for the character because the character is not supposed to know anything either.
Yeah, he's just a random dude.
Yeah, he's just like, that's weird, you
Yeah.
know? But yeah, okay, I forgot about that last part. That was really funny.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not having watched it in like however many years it's been and now seeing it. That must have been so fun.
Yeah.
And
How
like
crazy.
fully understanding what the hell you were doing or
Yeah.
what was supposed to be portrayed.
Yeah. Well, what a wild thing.
What a wild thing.
Yeah.
Well, that was Bowling for Votes, you guys.
That was fun.
Do you have any other notes? Anything you would like to say?
No.
Okay. Well, the next one, I can't remember what it is, but it's exciting. Oh yeah, it's the Anne one, where Chris is brokenhearted at the Valentine's Day thing and plays all these like monk.
Oh, that's a good
music.
episode. That's a good episode.
So we'll get to that. But if you haven't rated and reviewed yet, go ahead and do that. You can do it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We're also on like TikTok and YouTube if you want to follow us there. I think that's all that I have to say about that one. I don't know when this will come out, so I hope that you're having a good whatever month it is. And that you had a nice start / mid to year 2024. Because it definitely won't be this year.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Sean, for being on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This was very fun.
Yay.
Yeah, we'll do it
Okay,
again.
well, we'll see you next time. And
Okay.
Again, don't forget to rate and review us, and we love you guys.
See you later. Bye.
There's a Parkinson Pals and there's also therapy too.